Good evening and welcome to the News Hour Agenda. I'm Mathadas Gopalakrishnan. Viewers, a massive political slugfest is going on after Rahul Gandhi's midnight prediction of an ED raid on him for his Chakravyuh speech in Parliament earlier this week. The LOP, in his post, added that he was waiting with open arms after ED insiders told him that a raid was being planned because 2-in-1, quote-unquote, didn't like his Chakravyuh speech. Rahul Gandhi, who is in the midst of death, devastation and rescue operations in Wayanad, made this political allegation, adding that he will be waiting for the officials with chai and biscuits. And this comes after Gandhi attacked the Prime Minister while speaking on the Union Budget 2024 in the Lok Sabha on the 29th of July.
The Chakravyuh that has captured India has three forces behind it. First is the idea of monopoly capital, that two people should be allowed to own the entire Indian wealth. The second element is the institutions, the agencies, CBI, ED, Income Tax Department of this nation. And the third is the political executive. Speaker, sir, these three together are at the heart of the Chakravyuh. And they have devastated this country.
The Congress MP's post on social media has galvanized the India bloc. Its netas are backing Rahul Gandhi and slamming the Modi government once again over the misuse of central agencies for political vendetta. Listen in to the reactions of the opposition to the statement of the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha.
It's a very well-known fact that the Enforcement Directorate is the favorite hatchet agency of this government. It's always unleashed on political opponents. So Mr. Rahul Gandhi himself has faced the harassment of the ED before. So he's perfectly right in saying that he anticipates further harassment because the government finds it very inconvenient with his presence in Parliament as the leader of the opposition. If the BJP thinks that Mr. Rahul Gandhi is erroneous in his statement, then the ED must behave itself in the future and not harass political opponents.
राहुल गांधी जी ने जो भी सरकार के खिलाफ आज जोर शोर से अपना आवाज बुलंद कर रहे हैं लोकतंत्र बचाने के लिए, उनके सबके खिलाफ एक साजिश रची जा रही है। कुछ भी हो सकता है, हमले भी हो सकते हैं हमारे सबके ऊपर, राहुल जी के ऊपर। मैं इतना कह सकता हूं।
जब भी कोई सरकार के खिलाफ आवाज उठाता है, निश्चित रूप से उसके पीछे ईडी डाल दी जाती है, उसके पीछे सीबीआई डाल दी जाती है, और यही हेमंत सोरेन जी के साथ हुआ, यही केजरीवाल जी के साथ हुआ, यही मनीष सिसोदिया के साथ हुआ, सत्येंद्र जैन के साथ हुआ, मेरे साथ हुआ। जो इस सरकार के खिलाफ आवाज उठाएगा उसको पकड़ के जेल में डाल देंगे। तो ईडी और सीबीआई का खुलेआम दुरुपयोग हो रहा है।
Meanwhile, NDA leaders have branded it a model of shoot and scoot. NDA has alleged that Rahul Gandhi was imagining issues in his head. The BJP has also accused Rahul Gandhi of deflecting from serious questions around Wayanad and why repeated warnings by multiple committees have been ignored. Listen in to the political reactions.
Rahul Gandhi, in his classic Congress style, wants to distract the topic away from that tragedy, that reasons for the tragedy, to some make-believe imaginary issue that is floating around in his head. This is yet again one more attempt by Rahul Gandhi to distract the people of Wayanad, Kerala and India.
Political mileage लेने के लिए छोड़ा गया एक सगुफा है। वैसे राहुल गांधी जी स्वयं जानते होंगे कि उनके पास डिस्प्रपोर्शनेट एसेट्स हैं कि नहीं हैं, लिहाजा उनके बयान को वो ही बेहतर तरीके से परिभाषित करते हैं।
वायनाड के मुद्दे को भटकाना है, तो जब वायनाड से उनको ध्यान भटकाना है तो एक बड़ा निशाने से ऊपर मारो, नहीं तो बार खाली जाएगा। इसीलिए उनकी बात को सीरियस लेने की आवश्यकता नहीं है। मुझे लगता है कि ये कांग्रेस की जो ये गोल पोस्ट चेंज करने की आदत है, और राहुल गांधी जो दूसरा केजरीवाल का जो दूसरा रूप है कि जिसका कोई अता पता नहीं, कुछ भी बोल दे, राहुल गांधी उसी के एक उदाहरण बनते जा रहे हैं।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's take this across to our guest. Joining us with us is RP Singh of the BJP. We have Tushar Gupta, political analyst, joining us. Lokesh Jindal is a political analyst joining us. Kapil Madan, lawyer, is also with us. Gaurav Chachra, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party as well. Let me start first and foremost with, in fact, Lokesh Jindal. Lokesh Jindal, can you tell us how did this wisdom dawn on Rahul Gandhi? Who are these officers, do we know? And why did he choose to make this rather unusual statement at a rather unusual time of 2 a.m. in the morning?
The track record is responsible for this. Madhav, we have seen the entire year of 2022-23, and just prior to elections also, ED had become an instrument of coercion to intimidate, threaten, arm twist the opposition. And whenever the center, when the ruling party finds itself without any answers, all it resorts to is some form of intimidation tactics. And this is something which ED officials themselves know. And at times they are forced to do it. They are forced to be hand in glove because they have to work under the ministry's directions and orders.
Okay.
And some of them, out of their moral conscience, they confess it. And then they tend to accept it, acknowledge it, that what they are doing is at the behest of political masters. So I'm not saying over here that some form of a very precise information has been filtered out, that at this very moment, at this very time, some form of action would be taken. But if some person with a moral conscience has come out with a revelation, I don't think there is something you should ask the BJP, that why is it going to resort to the old tactics, or has it learned something from the electoral outcome?
Let me put that question to RP Singh. Of course, many questions in what you just said, Lokesh, and least of all, which is if that was happening due to elections, which elections are currently underway, I don't know. At least at the moment, I don't think there's been any notification or announcement of any. But RP Singh, officers of the ED, sometimes, they are so disturbed by what they're doing that they are reaching out to opposition leaders and confessing. That appears to be the premise of Mr. Gandhi's statement, says Lokesh Jindal. Would you like to respond to him, please?
Madhav, you missed on the timing part of the his Twitter which he has sent at 1:52 a.m. So there are two things which could happen. One is that man could have got up from his sleep with some sort of dream which he would have dreamt of ED raid, or he would have dreaded of ED raid. One. Secondly, he thought, okay, how to divert people's attention. I was supposed to be in Wayanad, and I was the MP of the Wayanad, and then all such disaster has happened in Wayanad. I reached there 72 hours after the instance. One. Secondly, also that as a member of parliament, people will now ask me, what did you do to safeguard the Wayanad? Because there have been reports on that, Madhav Gadgil report and other reports also, which states that there is a lot of deforestation which has been happening there. And then because of which the Western Ghats has faced the wrath of the nature, and then almost more than 300 people died, and then 500 are missing, 200 are severely injured, hospitalized. So people will ask me a question that you were the member of parliament. So what did you do once he's back here to tell about that? So to divert people's attention, that's a very easy thing. Some ED official called me up, and then he told me that they are going to raid me. I'm waiting for them with biscuits and tea. I mean, only time I remember his offering biscuit was to his PD, which was very well known that he used to offer biscuits to PD. But he should remember that ED is not PD. ED knows how to tackle situations and how to handle the people in power, and also people in positions. But issue is not this is not a recent case. Is this just a recent case? And he was called by ED some years back, and then he was inquired by ED. He was questioned by ED almost for
we'll get into the case. We'll get into the details of the case in which he was actually called in. But I want to bring in Kapil on one point. Kapil, it's an imaginary idea, says the BJP, and it is some attempt at trying to divert from the accountability on Wayanad. That's what BJP says is really happening, and that's the reason behind these statements of Mr. Gandhi. Please respond, Kapil.
So, Madhav, just, look at the timeline of this, entire ED case. The government has filed this ED case way back in 2014, and 10 years has elapsed. not a prosecution complaint filed in the ED case even after 10 years. I fail to understand for what logical reason you will keep an investigation pending. I could have understood that ED has investigated, completed, filed the prosecution complaint, and the case is pending in the court. But now here the situation is distinct. Here it is not the court in which the case is pending. It is the ED at the department level who is not able to complete the investigation. And let me tell you, with some, level of responsibility, is that they will never file the prosecution complaint because they don't have any evidence. Had there been the case that this case was genuine, had it been the case that ED had evidence against Mr. Gandhi or the other individual, they would by now must have filed the prosecution complaint. It shows what? It only shows that you don't have an evidence, but you still want to get political mileage out of it. You will still want to browbeat this issue. You will, still, use this to your advantage just before the election to draw a narrative against the Congress leader.
Okay.
And and surprisingly, that has been, how, the incumbent government is using this, especially this National Herald investigation against the INC leaders.
All right. I want Tushar to respond. I think Tushar, Kapil has a point. He says that it is over 10 years since the investigation started. There are limitations normally on all sorts of crimes as to, what kind of time period. Normally, charge sheets are also supposed to be filed within 90 days, etc. There are various exceptions to that. But the point is that 10 years is a fairly substantial amount of time. And his allegation is the reason that they've not actually acted upon this case is because there is no evidence to prove the charges against Mr. Gandhi. Please respond to him, Tushar.
Then Rahul Gandhi should be pleased that if there is an impending ED raid on him and there is nothing in the case, or so what his supporters and observers believe, what is the harm? Let the case be closed on its own time. You know what has happened really, Madhav? Rahul Gandhi says 2 in 1 did not like his speech on the Chakravyuh. I'm wondering which one of them is he really, attributing it to. Is it the one who just gave his family, Rahul Gandhi's family, a wedding invite? Or is it the one who's signing contracts after contracts in governments ruled by the Congress? So which one is Rahul Gandhi really talking about here? Nevertheless, I think what Rahul Gandhi is looking for really is attention. He went to Wayanad, he did not get the optics he would have wished for. A video is right now surfaced on social media since morning where people are questioning that if Rahul Gandhi is really in Wayanad, what are the cameras for? Why is he not getting on the ground, meeting people as he should? There's a video that surfaced online. Or number 2, perhaps Rahul Gandhi wants to deflect the attention away from the very important question Anurag Thakur asked him in the Lok Sabha a few days ago, that aapki kya caste hai? So I think this is clearly a diversionary tactic, because if Rahul Gandhi has his informant, so as he claims, tell him which case this is all about, tell him when the ED is going to approach him. So he's made an imaginary story. Congress supporters are selling it as the gospel truth, but at the end of the day, we have to understand this is nothing but Rahul Gandhi's figment of imagination.
Okay, it's a figment of his imagination. I want to bring in Gaurav Chachra on a different point. Gaurav Chachra, हमने कुछ महीनों पहले देखा जब अरविंद केजरीवाल जो आपके कन्वीनर हैं, उनकी जब गिरफ्तारी हुई, we saw Atishi come out and say that 4 ministers are now going to be arrested. क्या ये सिमिलर टाइप का शूट एंड स्कूट केस है? क्योंकि ये दूसरे ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज में कम से कम देखा गया एक तरह का एजेंसीज को लेके एक एक्सपेक्टेशन बनाना, एक हाइप क्रिएट करना, और कई बार वो हाइप जो है झूठी साबित हुई है पूर्व में. गौरव चाचरा.
नहीं, देखिए, जब विपक्ष जनता के असल मुद्दों की बात करता है, तब तक सरकार कभी माइक छीन लेती है, कभी माइक बंद कर लेती है, कभी उनके सांसदों को निलंबित कर देती है, और कभी जब जनप्रतिनिधि जनता की बात अगर रख दें तो कहीं ना कहीं शासन प्रशासन का सीबीआई, ईडी और इनकम टैक्स जैसी एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग करके उसको फर्जी मुकदमों में जेल करने का काम करती है. तो कहीं ना कहीं भारतीय जनता पार्टी का अतीत रहा है. इसीलिए राहुल गांधी जी को किसी ने बताया है, भाई सरकार में तो कांग्रेस भी रही है, सरकार में बीजेपी है, तो ब्यूरोक्रेट्स तो इनके भी हैं, तो कहीं ना कहीं से जानकारी मिली है कहीं कि ईडी का कहीं ना कहीं छापा पड़ सकता है. है, लेकिन कोई बात नहीं, डरने की बात नहीं है। साच को आज क्या, हम तो जनता के असल मुद्दों को उठाते हैं और उठाते रहेंगे। उसके लिए सड़क से लेके सदन तक हमें जो भी कार्रवाई करनी होगी वो करेंगे। हम हर चीजों के लिए तैयार हैं, हम डरने वाले नहीं है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी कान खोल के सुन ले, जनता के हक की बात करें, जनता की लड़ाई के लिए हम लोग साथ में खड़े। आखिर राहुल गांधी जी क्या बात कर रहे थे? राहुल गांधी जी पेपर लीक की समस्या की बात कर रहे थे, राहुल गांधी जी अग्निवीर की बात की है, और विपक्ष ने किस चीज की बात की है? जलती जनगणना की बात किया, जनता के असल मुद्दों की तो बात करें। इसमें हर्ज ही क्या है? मुझे लगता है इसमें कोई हर्ज होना चाहिए। भारतीय जनता पार्टी को नहीं घबराना चाहिए। भारतीय जनता पार्टी को बड़ा दिल दिखा के आगे आके बताना चाहिए कि जाति जनगणना में क्या दिक्कत है, आखिर जाति जनगणना क्यों नहीं होनी चाहिए, आखिर पिछड़ों, दलित, अल्पसंख्यक, आदिवासियों पे अत्याचार क्यों हो रहा है, उसको कैसे कम करें। क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की मंशा सिर्फ और सिर्फ सत्ता में आना और अपने चुनिंदा जो उद्योगपति हैं उनको फायदा पहुंचाना है। इसलिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी
ईडी का कास्ट सेंसस से क्या लेना देना है, मेरे को ये समझ नहीं आया। लेकिन आपने सवाल पूछा है तो आई पुट दैट क्वेश्चन अक्रॉस टू आरपी सिंह। द सब्जेक्ट ऑफ डिस्कशन इज राहुल गांधी's allegation of ED raids, but nevertheless you put a question. Let's get a response from RP Singh. RP Singh, rather than focusing on these comments, the government should come clean on why it is not conducting a caste census. Please respond to the Samajwadi Party spokesperson.
वेल, पारसी दादा के पोते और ईसाई माता के बेटे से पहले पूछा जा रहा है ना कि वह बताएं कि वह किस जाति के हैं, तो वो तो बता नहीं पा रहे, भाग रहे हैं। इसी बात से तो भाग रहे हैं वो। दिक्कत तो यही है सर। उनको बोलिए कर्नाटका के अंदर उनकी सरकार है, वहां पर कास्ट सर्वे, एक मिनट, ये कास्ट सर्वे कराया उन्होंने। कास्ट सर्वे कराने के बाद उसको पब्लिक नहीं कर रहे। उनके डिप्टी सीएम बने कि इसको पब्लिक नहीं करेंगे, डी शिव कुमार। तो जरा बता दीजिए कि वह पब्लिक क्यों नहीं कर रहे उसको। जरा उसको साथ, आपके तो सहयोगी मित्र है, जरा कर्नाटका से शुरू करते हैं जहां आपकी सरकार है। आपको तो कास्ट की बड़ी चिंता है, तो जरा कोशिश करिए ना, और थोड़ी हिम्मत करिए। जरा उनको बोलिए डी शिव कुमार साहब को कि जरा DK शिव कुमार साहब को कि जरा पब्लिक करें अपनी जो उन्होंने कास्ट सर्वे कराया था। और हाँ,
RP Singh, I will just say one thing. I will just request you and other panelists, let's not get personal about, even leaders, because then the other side will start making comments about your leaders. It's perhaps, in every individual is entitled to call himself or herself belong to whatever religion, whatever their lineage may be, whatever the family background may be. End of the day, the person says they are of a certain religion. We have to take that at face value. But Kapil wants to respond to you on that point. Kapil.
I will just try to highlight what is the mindset of the BJP, which has been exhibited by Mr. RP Singh. I mean, BJP is one party which is absolutely against the, Dalits and the other backward classes of our country. And let me just give you a very short example. What has happened yesterday? Yesterday, the Honorable Supreme Court has said that yes, there can be a subdivision amongst the ST also, and what will be the criteria? Because the Supreme Court also says that there could be a situation that amongst the caste also, there could be some classes which are more backward. They, even they're a part of one caste, still there could be some disparity between them. And that's the reason why. Just a minute, I am making an important point.
Yes, sir, I'm helping you with your point. Yes, what you're trying to say is the creamy layer aspect.
All I'm trying to say here is what has been said by Mr. Rahul Gandhi, supported by the opposition, has been echoed by the Honorable Supreme Court. Now, if there has to be a further sub-classification of the SC/ST for the purposes of making the beneficial scheme, which the Honorable Supreme Court now is saying that it is permissible and the state should conduct, how will the state form beneficial policies till the time that they don't have number? Problem is with Mr. RP Singh is that they know it is a party which is, very hollow. They do not have any substance. They do not have any kind of concrete ideas how they would be distributing their beneficial.
Yeah, now these adjectives,
that's the reason why
it's okay.
They would want
just as I requested Mr. RP Singh to refrain from using adjectives which the other side may find objectionable. Let's keep this debate civil. We can, of course, we can get into many aspects of this, but Tushar, I think that's a fair point that's being made here by, in fact, Kapil, because he is saying that how will you form these policies if now, of course, his point of view and perception is that what Rahul Gandhi is saying is being quoted by the court, but nevertheless, the court has said something, and the point is to implement what the court has said of, finding out those within various castes, etc., which are, which have got the more benefit of reservation or those who are better off according to certain standards. How will you ascertain all of that if there is no caste census in the first place?
Right. Madhav, the Supreme Court yesterday overruled a 20-year-old judgment from 2004. You know what that judgment in 2004 negated? The special sub-classification of caste in Andhra Pradesh. You know which government got it out in Andhra Pradesh? A coalition government of TDP and BJP. So when Kapil says that the BJP does not believe in sub-categorization or it's hollow, I just wanted to, humbly fact check him here. Number two, earlier this year in February, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta actually advocated the centre's support, representing the government for the sub-categorization of caste. Number three on the Congress's agenda. The Supreme Court yesterday has given states the power, overruling the judgment of 2004, to carry out the caste census. Earlier, only the president in consultation with the governor could list out the caste. Now the state governments can do that, and we would expect that in Karnataka and Telangana and Himachal Pradesh, Rahul Gandhi would walk the talk. Number four, when you talk about Congress's idea of caste census, it's reserved versus the unreserved. So when Rahul Gandhi goes around town, he does not ask that is there inequality within the SC, ST or OBC grouping. He says unreserved kaun hai, reserved kaun hai, kitne SC, kitne ST, kitne OBC. The Supreme Court is looking for inequalities within the SC and ST grouping, and this is where the debate on creamy layer comes up. Number five, and the final important point, Congress, not even one, has advocated social justice with an economic filter. For them, social justice comes with a political filter, and their political filter is all about dividing up the Hindu vote, which is a threat to their existential crisis.
Yeah.
And that is how they are going about this caste census. There's nothing about social justice here.
Okay.
That is something we need to also remember.
All right. I've allowed, I think, a fair amount of time on a subject which is not entirely the subject of this debate. But let's come back to the issue. When it comes to the Young India case, the allegation, Lokesh Jindal, is that Rahul is in possession of proceeds of crime, I beg your pardon, to the tune of 90.21 crores as per the Enforcement Directorate. And it is a fact that the PMLA court has upheld the ED action of attachment in April 2024 as well. So is this really something that is questionable in that sense?
Well, Madhav, had the evidence been significant enough, the PMLA, it gives significant powers to the investigating officer to arrest anybody who is under suspicion. And the ED has a track record for this. It has arrested Arvind Kejriwal on mere suspicion by claiming that it has some form of evidence. So it clearly shows that there is no crucial evidence. There is nothing substantial that's there with ED. From last 10 years, it is only and only investigating, trying to come up with some evidence, which it is not able to. And time and again, it is trying to summon Rahul Gandhi to make sure that somehow it can have some form of a statement that it can record and can use as some form of evidence. So I would say over here, the case is very weak. It is only an intimidation tactic that the ruling party is resorting to.
Okay, it's an intimidation tactic, and the reason they're saying this, RP Singh, is that in the past you've been alleged that you've used the washing machine charge, that 90% of ED cases, 95% of ED cases since the BJP came to power have been against opposition leaders. Even the data when it comes to CBI cases shows that 124 leaders probed by CBI, of 118 of which are from the opposition. Respond to that charge, RP Singh.
Madhav, when UPA was there, ED conducted some 300 odd raids, and in last 10 years they have conducted some 5,000 raids. The total collection at that time was some 5,000 crore rupees. Now it is 1 lakh crore rupees worth of property which has been attached by the ED. Now coming to the 95%, 5%, no, it's the 5% of the total cases. And that 5% mean that 95% is bureaucrats or probably the businessmen, others. 5% are only politicians. Out of this 5%, okay, could be that 90% could be people from the opposition, leaders from the opposition, but that's a fact. And if there's a story, then why don't they go and get a bail from Mr. Kejriwal? Even Supreme Court, High Court, Laws Avenue Court, every court has turned down his bail. Manish Sisodia is in jail. Every court has turned down his bail. And then if ED is unfair or the courts are unfair, then how could the Jharkhand Chief Minister, Mr. Soren, get the bail? So it is a legal process which takes time and then which happens as per the Constitution. I mean,
is it also a coincidence, Mr. RP Singh, that about 23 opposition leaders have got a reprieve after joining BJP?
none has got any reprieve after joining BJP. And if there is any such case, I'll appreciate any of the leaders of opposition, especially on your panel, if any one of them want to go and file a case, I'll provide for the lawyer, I'll pay the fee for the lawyer, best of the lawyers they can hire. If they win the case, it's good for them.
Kapil Madan is smiling because he is saying that I don't need a lawyer, I'm a lawyer myself. Kapil Madan, would you like to respond to RP Singh?
See, I'll tell you, the interesting fact about BJP. When you question BJP,
do that, I'll pay
when you will, they will always create this smoke screen. Whenever you will question BJP and the BJP leaders, they will always put the baton on you and will say, you go and fight cases against those tainted leaders who have joined BJP. Mr. RP Singh forgets that investigation and the domain of investigation is with the government. Now, tomorrow, if you don't investigate, if you file closure, no third party or a citizen can go and file anything against you. It's very easy for you to say. For opposition leaders, you will go on guns blazing. You will have raids after raids. You will have arrest after the arrest. You will have midnight arrest, etc., etc. You will have everything. And then you will say in the court that, to get evidence, you have to give lollipop to someone. This is the, on record statement made by the Solicitor General on behalf of the government in Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's bail.
All right, we'll have to wrap up this debate. We have another debate as well on the show, but clearly, of course, very, very unusual comment coming in from Rahul Gandhi, an allegation, of course, opposition coming out in support as far as Parliament is concerned, and of course, remains to be seen if Rahul Gandhi is able to establish anything that he has said so far in coming days as well. Was it some kind of an imaginative defensive strategy, as BJP says? Well, the jury's still out on that. I'd like to thank our panelists for joining us, Lokesh Jindal, Kapil Madan and Gaurav Chachra.